Hey, Jeff Howard here at Kiteboarding.com, and I want to share with you some techniques that a lot of the guys from here at the shop and myself, we have tested and tried true about learning how to foil board. We've had so many customers asking us questions, and get in here with the Hulk and try to see if I can give you the pointers of figuring this out. And I will tell you, we have tried these techniques and they definitely are working. What I want to discuss with you first is about the correct setup and foot positioning on the board, which is very, very important. We have tried this for years and years, and so many people have failed to learn how to do this because we were trying to put our feet in the straps where the manufacturers tell you to put your feet, or think about putting your feet. So, here's the first thing. When it comes to placing the back foot, it is very important that you want to be right over the top of that mast. You can be a little bit to the back of it, so if there's a base plate on that mast, you'll usually see screws coming up. Sometimes you don't. And what you want to do is you want to mark on that board. It really helps out. Mark right where you should have your foot as you start to get up on it. And a lot of them will place the strap way in the back. Some of these boards are made to be ridden without the foil on it. For whatever reason that is, making it called the double agent or something. So it's very important to make sure that your back foot, when you start to get up on this foil, is right over the top of the mast and maybe a little bit to the back side of that. The faster you go, the further you'll move that back foot. But always start out with the back foot right over the top of that mast. All right, so that's your back foot. Now the next is to take any strap placement up here, and I'll tell you on the back foot, you don't need a strap. Eliminate the strap. If there's one back there, just take it off. Your front straps, it's very important to move those as far forward as you absolutely can on that board. You want to have that weight position way out as far as you can to hold that foil down when you're learning how to foil board. So, here's the overall technique. We got the back foot over the mast, which is very important. Mark on the board if you need, and your straps all the way forward. Now, make sure those front straps too are very loose. Do not make them tight on your foot. All it's there is to lead the board to get it started till you get up on it. All right, so now we're getting ready to get started on the riding side of it. Once you get out there in the water and you're ready to go, you want to get the board placed where put the front foot in, and you want to get this board getting up on top of it is riding it flat. So important. I've seen so many people try to get up on top of the board, they'll shift their weight to the back, and then they'll try to edge over on this thing. Do not do that. Once the kite pulls you, get up on top of it. You want to stand up on top, straight and flat. So when you're riding along, it's so important to keep the weight completely forward. Always stay out on that front leg. If your legs are bent and they're burning, you're doing it correctly. So make sure that you have that weight shift. It's so important to learn the little technique, which is keeping that weight forward and ride out an attack. So what you want to do is you want to do more than a few runs. I always tell people to get out there and run no matter how bored you are. Keep the board in the water on top of it. Do not let it foil. Keep that weight forward and that will hold it down. Underneath the water, it's foiling, so don't worry about that. What you want to do is keep the weight forward, ride out in a good long tack. You will go upwind. What you're going to do is you're going to start shifting. A little bit of shifting the board, you're going to learn that it's not the edge, it's everything underneath the water. So stay forward, keep the board on top of the water, and take a really nice tack out. Jump off, turn the board around, go back the other way, and the same technique. Keeping all that weight forward. Hold the foil down. Do not let the foil come out. Do that for at least, I would say, 3, 4, 5 tacks going back and forth. You will see it's amazing. You will stay upwind. So now the technique is learning to actually foil. Once you have that down and you're following the waves, it's most important to understand is do not shift your body weight by moving your shoulders. So you're starting out, you're going to stay forward, and you're going to keep your kite high, and you're riding off in the direction you are. The only thing you have to do to make the foil start to foil, or the board start to foil, is shift your hips. Only your hips. Do not move your shoulders. Shift that weight to that back leg just slightly, and all of a sudden, you're going to start coming out of the water. The foil will start to foil. Now what you want to do is keep your shoulders in the same position, shift your weight back forward, and all of a sudden, the foil will go back down. This is learning the method of like touch and go is what we call it. So you want to touch down, shift a little bit of weight to the back, and then shift it back down. It's very important. You're going to learn this technique. The more waves there are, the more difficult it is. So you want to make sure to get out there in some lighter wind conditions. Don't have a kite that's really pulling real hard, and learn that shifting. All it is shifting the hips. I know you guys are going to make jokes about it, and I'm going to hear about it, but you're going to be up foiling before long. That's the most important technique of that. So shift the weight back a little, then shift it back forward, and the foil will begin to touch and go. Now, I've had a lot of people ask me, does it work better if you have a shorter mast base? Should I have this long? Should I get the shorter one? Does that make it easier? Not necessarily. I have proven the deal that if you're out there and it's a very flat water area, yes, you can use some shorter masts, but you've got to make sure that it's deeper and make sure they're very small waves, because what happens is you'll start topping the foil out of those bigger waves, and it's very frustrating because once this foil comes out of the water, it'll stall and it'll drop you back down on the nose. So be careful with that. We take our guys out. They have a normal size shaft on there. We've got the Cabrina, we got the Nash board, we got the slingshot. All of these, we have the standard mast on there. That's what I tell the guys to learn on. They already know how to kiteboard, so they're getting out there having that longer mast so they're not just topping out of a wave. Because you want to learn to start following those. So if you're a little bit out of there and a wave comes up here and the water's here, you want to follow that wave and keep that foil underneath. As soon as that stalls, it definitely fails, drops you back in the water. So again, keep your straps loose. I have had some techniques. When this board wants to go its direction, it goes that direction. So make sure that you keep your weight forward. Hold it down. Take tacks out, take tacks back. Stay in that position. Then learn to just shift that weight a little bit. You will be amazed at how quick you will get up and foil before long. Anybody can do it. I know you can. I've had more than a few guys give up on it, and I said, follow these techniques. Hold it down, continue holding it down, and then start shifting your weight correctly, shifting those hips. You will learn that this will not move. It will not slide like a normal kiteboard. It is a definite direction wherever you do it. So shifting, learning to shift that front foot to direct that foil and fly it underneath. You're basically flying and hanging up right on these little things. So anyway, that's Jeff Howard here at Kiteboarding.com. Please let me know if this is working for you. These techniques, I promise, it is a really cool feeling when you start floating above that water. If you have any questions about picking up a foil or what your steps to get into it involved, give us a call. We teach lessons, we sell the gear, and you will have a blast doing it. Anyway, it's Jeff Howard here at Kiteboarding.com.